I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc, with another one of these little videos designed to help you to get through these strange days in which we find ourselves on. These yet remain strange days indeed, as evidenced by last week's mass shootings, 2 mass shootings in 1 week. These are strange days indeed. These are days of change. How do you negotiate change? That's what I've been talking about this week. Making change from the story of Peter on the rooftop in Joppa. There's some points that you can draw that will help you to negotiate the changes that we are seeing in our world today. Number 1, develop a spiritual sensitivity. Number 2, think higher thoughts. Number 3, open your eyes to visionary experience. Look beyond where you are to where you want to be in life. Question the need for change. Now, I am an agent of change. I help people to make change and transition in their life. But I always question the need to change. Do you really need to change a thing? If it's working, keep working it, even if it seems to be antiquated. If it's working for you, just keep working it. Then remember that life is a journey, not a destination. Peter went to Cornelius' house. It was a journey. He didn't know what he was going to find when he got there, but all he knew was he'd had an experience. He was in a time of change, and change is inevitable. Pain is optional. And by the way, when we talk about change, you need to know that the beginning of every century has a lot of tumult, and the beginning of every millennium, and we're actually still in the beginning days of a new millennium, they are especially tumultuous. And I discovered when I was working on my master's degree that every 500 years the church reinvents itself, and we're at one of those times of reinvention in the church. I know this pandemic has certainly changed the face of our church. We have seen exponential growth over the last year, but it's all been on the live stream and on the Facebook. Also by radio, but largely live stream and Facebook. And new people added to the church, and then they drop in and visit in the church services, and then they're back on live stream and Facebook. And we have become, in a very real way, a hybrid church. And I suspect that many churches, the ones that are succeeding in the future, are going to be that kind of a hybrid church. We're in a time of change. So open yourself. Number 6, open yourself to new things. And it is a new idea to Peter. Gentiles being saved. Who'd ever thought that God would save the Gentiles? Open yourself to change. Years ago, I took a couple of elders in Lima out to a Chinese restaurant. And they looked at the menu like it was written in Chinese. And eventually they said, well, what do you recommend here? And I said, well, what do you like at a Chinese restaurant? They said, we've never been to a Chinese restaurant. I said, you've never been? I didn't know there's anyone in America that had never been to a Chinese restaurant. They'd never been to a Chinese restaurant. I said, well, what kind of ethnic food do you like? And they said, tacos. And that was the extent of their familiarity with Mexican food, with just getting tacos at the local Taco Bell. So I pointed out a couple of things that they might enjoy, and they opened their eyes and they opened their minds to this new experience, and they enjoyed Chinese food for their very first time, and I hope that they continue to enjoy it since. There are a lot of people that aren't open to new ideas or new things. You need to open your mind, open your eyes to new ideas and new things, because once again, I've said it again and again, change is inevitable. Pain is optional. So number 7, when times change, change. Change is a matter of choice. It's a decision that you make. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken. God says in Isaiah 43:19, behold, I'll do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? He said, I'll make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. A new thing. Oftentimes when a new thing happens, you don't want to embrace the new thing because, well, after all, it's never been done this way before. Those, by the way, are the 7 last words of a dying church or a dying business or a dying person. It's never been done this way before. That's what change is all about. It's about embracing something new. Then number 8, confirm the change by doing something concrete. After God confirmed to Peter and his friends that the Gentiles were accepted into the family of God, he baptized them. That was a concrete act. Do something concrete when you make your change, and set it as your mile marker. Put it as your stake in the ground, saying, this is the thing that I'm doing to indicate to everyone and to myself especially that I'm making change in my life, and make that concrete change. This week at Aspire Church, I have got a word that will encourage you. It's Palm Sunday, the King and his kingdom. Reigning in life. I want to show you how to reign in life, because that's God's intention for your life, for you to reign in life. Much more, they that receive abundance of grace and the gift of righteousness shall reign in life by one Jesus Christ. It's going to be powerful stuff. Catch it on the live stream at aspirechurch.tv. Catch it on Facebook at Aspire Church TV. That's Facebook, Aspire Church TV, live stream, aspirechurch.tv, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. It is going to be powerful. And then join us for Easter Sunday. I'll tell you more about that next week. I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, a.k.a. Doc. Thanks for joining me this week. I'll look for you on Sunday. I'll see you then.